The Colts have just announced that Anthony Richardson is going to have season-ending surgery as of this past Monday. Going forward, this means that Gardner Minshew will be the starter. The offense doesn't have many fantasy options um, outside of Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman. How do y'all view these guys the rest of the season? I think you could argue that the injury might benefit both of these players, just strictly from like an opportunity standpoint. But what do you guys think of Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman as the year goes on?
So when Gardner played this past week, I'm pretty sure I didn't watch the game, that specific game, but I know he looked like dog shit. With that being said, their top two receivers in Pittman and Josh Downs both received an uptick in usage. Pittman, I think, had like 14 targets. He had like 10 or 11 receptions for like 110 yards, something like that. And then Josh Downs also saw like 8 targets, and I think he scored once. So I do think that'll give those two guys a boost just because Minshew is going to be more of a pocket passer type, if you would call it, and it's going to be looking those guys this way. It will hurt them because Richardson does give the offense a boost. Obviously, he's the better player. You could even make a case, yeah, like you said, Jonathan Taylor could see an uptick just because Minshew is not the threat at all that Richardson is on the run game. But I think the receivers would definitely benefit for sure. I'm not sure about Taylor yet.
Yeah, man. I think this was kind of weird. Like, this is almost like the better version of the Patriots. If that makes any sense. Like, Indianapolis, their defense sucks. They've given up 30 or more points in 50% of their games. So, and the other teams, Tennessee and Houston, I mean, those were the ones who didn't put up too many points on them. But so they're getting scored on a lot, and they're going to have to keep passing the ball. So I like Pittman and Downs to be good. I think they're fine receivers moving forward, and I have trust in JT too. I mean, he's catching the ball already. He had 5 receptions this past week. He's going to get the goal line work, presumably moving forward. So I feel like this is a bad offense, but
It's
oddly,
consolidated enough for them.
yeah, I think it's 3 guys that are going to get the majority of the work, and I think they'll all be fine.
Just to be clear, you think the offense is better off with Anthony Richardson, but you think these other guys can
But no,
still.
like Brennan said, without Anthony Richardson being on the field, I think that's a lot of yardage and touchdowns that are going to go elsewhere rather than them
Yeah,
being
Richardson is.
Richardson running them in or
Yeah, he's a weapon to
whatever.
himself. He's one of the
Yeah.
weapons. That's like taking a weapon away, if you can say so.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, yeah, I think everyone like I'm just gonna regurgitate what they said. I think everyone, including like especially the wide receivers, will all benefit. Pittman looks like a mid wide receiver too. I think he's like wide receiver 12 or 13 right now. But I mean, I consistently see him about a 15 to 20 point guy, maybe going forward. So I think if you got him, you're probably pretty happy with his production so far.
For sure. For sure.
Yep.
And that's someone dude, I drafted Pittman at the beginning of the 3rd round last year. I was starving for that breakout with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan sucked ass. And here he is. I'm a year late or a year
Yeah.
too early. I mean, it is what it is.
Do y'all think like Pittman is like in that high end wide receiver 2 territory? Like, or
I
do
think
y'all
so for
where
sure.
y'all
Yeah.
I think I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah,
say high
like he's
end,
in
but
Puka
like,
Nakua? He's in Puka Nakua territory, is what Brennan said.
Yeah.
That no, I don't think so. No way.
Well,
no,
how do you
his
view Puka
production.
Nakua? Because I know we have different views of Puka Nakua.
well,
Wait,
You think Puka Nakua is a top tier wide receiver too?
no, I'm just saying I would take him over Michael Pittman. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I think I would take Pittman.
yeah, I would take Pittman too, just because he's the wide
But
receiver one.
I think
For
they're like
sure.
neck and neck. I think they're back to back. But I
I'm
think
still a little like not like I know last game is kind of like probably got a lot of people a little confused right now with Puka, but like I mean I'm gonna take the wide receiver 1 for sure on this team when I already view him as a mid to high wide receiver 2. I'm gonna take less risk because like I said, and I said this in the past, we've seen 2 good wide receivers in this Rams offense where Robert Woods was like a 12-point guy, not a 20 to 20 plus point guy like Puka has been. So I won't be surprised if Puka goes down to like a 12-point guy instead of what he's been. And I see Pittman as like a 15 to 20 point guy. So I'm taking Pittman all day.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that I just don't want to overreact to one game.
I
with,
agree.
a-
I just it's
so it's I've seen Puka do it so many times, and that's why I think I would rather Puka.
The Rams are going to be a way more pass heavy offense than the Colts. Puka did have a down game. He dropped, I think the first drive, he dropped wide open, wide open, but he had an easy fucking touchdown that he just hit him in the hands and dropped. He also saw, I think, 33% of the target share in this past game. So he's still seeing a crazy good value. He just kind of had a down game.
Also, don't forget the Colts did just sign Jonathan Taylor to some big money. They might, decide we need to run the offense through this guy who just paid all the money to.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
well,
so,
rookie
I don't know.
season they ran the ball a lot and Pittman was balling. So
Yeah. I think good offense benefits everybody.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
and they need it.
Yeah.